Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back for a new episode of Cyberverse, the podcast of Infinigate. Today we have a special guest, Tom Sluys, the country managers from Checkpoint Belgium and Luxembourg, also in our studio. Tom, welcome.
Thank you, Martin. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you, Tom. Checkpoint is actually one of the newer vendors in our portfolio, but a big name in the market for many years already, Tom.
New for Belgium, but not new for the cooperation between Infinigate and Checkpoint is actually long existing, but then more from the Nordic countries.
Yeah, and even also think for the DACH region, I think it's also one of the first vendors also that joined 25 years ago or something like that, with really the first founding countries of Infinigate, indeed.
Yeah. And we heard the good feedback from the Nordics, to be fair. So really pleased to start this new journey together.
Yeah, the pleasure also ours. And Tom, I'm really excited about Checkpoint. I think most people in the partner ecosystem, they know Checkpoint. I think the quality, I don't think anybody has questions about that. But I think there has been a big transformation in the last years.
Absolutely. So indeed, like you said, most people still know us from the firewall because our previous CEO, I must say, invented that more than 30 years ago. But in the meantime, the portfolio has evolved so much. We also got pretty recently a new CEO, Nadav, who came on board. And there's so much more than just a firewall. And yeah, like you, we are so thrilled about the solutions that we can offer to market today. And it's a pleasure to do that now together with Infinigate.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I think the new CEO is also coming from the SaaS world or something. It's more
he did many things before. He did startups before. He advised. So it's a pleasure to have him on board. And we already see the change and the new things. I mean, you might have seen it in the news. Some recent acquisitions were done. We acquired Cyberint in the external risk management space. We recently acquired Leakage in the AI space. So it's moving quite rapidly.
Yeah, and I think I think that's one of the things that we really need to discuss is everything about AI. Because you have the quality label. I also, by the way, love the new branding. It's not new anymore, I know. No. But still, I think a lot of people still remember the old, I think it was was it a PC?
Old PC.
Yeah, old PC. Yeah.
Indeed.
So no, really powerful logo also. AI. I think AI, I gave a keynote, I think last year about Shadow IT 2.0, 3.0. These more marketing terms, but and the problem was really about AI tools. Nobody knows anymore where their data is, what data is being shared on these platforms, and we all think immediately about ChatGPT, but
there are many more.
There are a lot of more platforms, more I think than some CIOs or IT managers dare to admit or know. Yep. So it's one of the biggest issues today.
It's something, honestly, Martin, we see a lot of organizations struggle with, both public as private entities, is to say, what do we do with the usage of GenAI tools like the ChatGPTs you mentioned, but there are many more. And typically what we see, either organizations say they take a very strict standpoint and they block everything, not allowed. And so users can't benefit from the potential advantages that it can bring. The other extreme is we close our eyes and we just allow anything. And then you have situations in the middle where some tools are allowed, some others not. Some other organizations make quite strict guidelines on say, hey, this is how you should use those tools, what you can expect out of them. But still they leave it in the hands of the user in good faith. So within our own organization, and actually what we promote is that you make use of the tools in a safe way. So what we do is we have actually a browser plugin, so it can be used on any laptop, any PC, any browser, because that's very important, where you can control and control in a safe way the usage of those GenAI tools. Maybe if you want, I can demonstrate this very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So imagine here, it's just an example. In a company organization, somebody wants to use Perplexity, and that organization, for whatever reason, wants to block that. Through the browser plugin, we're actually able to send a message, hey, to the user, you can't use that specific tooling. Okay, fine. Imagine somebody wants to use ChatGPT, and it is allowed in that organization, for instance, but he sends in some data, customer information, privacy data that you don't want to get leaked out to the open world, let's call it like that. We can block that specific prompt because it contains customer information in this case. In this same way, you can block data going out, like, what is it, IDs, credit card numbers, depending
personal
on the
details,
exactly,
salary
depending on the policies
everything.
you specify, you can actually block certain prompts to be asked to the tooling. What more can be done? Very often it's used to summarize either entire content, mails, or the documents, whatever it might be. So we can enable or block copy-paste from an entire document or mail into the tooling, because again, it might contain sensitive data. Yeah, even file uploads, you might try to bypass that with uploading the entire file. We're using in that aspect the classification label from the customer organization. And if the label says, oh, this file is confidential, we will block an upload to the tooling, and as such, try to keep data safe.
Question on that, because do you need, if you use that tool, and it's also, by the way, standalone, so you don't need, standalone, I mean, you don't need firewalls or anything.
No, it's completely standalone. Yeah. It's a browser, very simple browser plugin. Yeah.
But do you need to list all the applications, or how does it work?
It works by creating certain policies that you actually define for your specific organization on what you want to block, allow, or that's the way it works.
Yeah. So you choose the AI apps that are allowed, and then the rest is blocked.
You choose in the prompts to what kind of level of detail or specific words or phrases you want to block. That's the way you actually set up.
Sometimes, Tom, to be honest, I think every day you have at least 3-4 new AI tools, and it's LLM tools, and
yeah, absolutely. It's impossible to follow. Yeah. And they become so specific for specific use cases. So that's why we are embedding a tool like this in the browser to make it actually feasible still to get the advantage from the tooling, but in a safe way. The other aspect that we see very often today, organizations actually don't know who is using the tools and for what. It's a blind spot. Yeah. So by using that browser plugin, you get a full overview of which tools have been used, for what prompting, and which ones were rather tricky, if I can call it like that. So we provide a full overview of who has been using the tooling for what. And then you get, based on that, you can also take specific actions, and you get at least a full insight of what is going on.
It's a browser plugin, so if you installed it on the PC, it also can work like that? Or is it only for browser AI apps?
It's for a browser. So the prompts used through the browser.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah. So, and because I hear a lot of customers, end customers in our case, really discussing about this. Is this something new for Checkpoint, or is it something already I found the landing ground at the end customer side? Wow, it was really difficult.
Yeah. It's not 10 years old. It's not that old as the firewall.
No.
So in that sense, it's newer, absolutely. But it exists for a while. Already quite some organizations are actually using it here in Belgium and across the world, because Checkpoint is an international organization. So it's quite used already.
I would imagine that it's quite successful now. That it's really
Well, it is a very successful product, and it's a hot topic everywhere, because many organizations, like I said, struggle with it. There is very little even insight on what people are doing and what they are using it for. So it is a struggle.
yeah.
It is a very struggle. I will not state names, but I have very often discussions where organizations also don't allow it, but then where the end users say, damn, I could benefit from it in a safe way for my day-to-day work. So finding that balance today is not an easy thing.
Yeah, and I think I think organizations, you can't really block it, in my opinion. And I will explain what I mean with that. Let's say you typed a mail in a Word file or in an email. If you block it, you could also take a picture of it with your phone that is maybe not company managed, and then upload that picture into your personal, not paid version of whatever AI tool, and then it's for sure you're in problems. And then you can just say improve this, and it will take the text. And so it's better to
do it in
create a path than to block everything, because
in a controlled way.
Yeah, in a controlled way.
That's our view as well.
Because you can't really stop it, I think, and block it.
It's very difficult. Because there are ways around it. So better try to enable it in a safe, secure way as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it will be, I think for me, because we also, in a partnership between Infinigate Belgium and Checkpoint, it's also choosing for each other, and that's why we were really also excited, because all of these new things, bringing them to the market, you're really solving also new problems, with new solutions. So that's really cool to do.
But that's now, I mean, the buzzword is out there with the AI. We have to, because in all fairness, we see the hackers also taking a lot of advantage of the AI. And that's not, I mean, we mentioned now the GenAI tools, but there's other ways that hackers take advantage of it. We see it a lot in phishing emails. That is one of the obvious examples.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so easy these days to customize those emails and other messages. That it becomes difficult for the organizations to protect it. So it really, on that aspect, if you look at our email solutions, for instance, it's also AI driven. It becomes almost AI against AI.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that will be an interesting, quote unquote, evolution that we are going to see. Because before we started recording, we were talking about we have an IT OT experience center here in Mechelen. And you're also going to become part of that in the coming months. And to do some demos, we created our own ransomware virus, actually. And you would think, that's really difficult. I don't know anything about viruses, to be honest, how to create them. But if you try it with a normal prompt, it will say, no, it's not ethical, you can't do that. And they said, it's for educational purposes, then it will maybe give a little bit. And with that little bit, you say, can you now improve it to encrypt PDF files? And then suddenly you have a virus. You have created it. I don't know how to, then you have a code, so I don't know how to put it into practice. But you have technical people who can do it, and it's also really for demo purposes. But just to make a point, it's really easy for people who don't know anything about it to also start and learn how to do it.
And if you want to learn it yourself in a decent way, Maarten, we have a gamification to test your own AI hacking skills. So I really encourage everybody who is listening to this to just go to Checkpoint Gandalf. That's the gamification.
Checkpoint Gandalf.
Or Lakira Gandalf is
Yeah.
from the acquisition we did from Lakira actually very recently. So do a search, Checkpoint Gandalf or Lakira Gandalf. And there you will find an AI agent, Gandalf called, and he holds a secret password. And your task is through prompting to actually reveal that password. And in the beginning, it will be very easy. You just type, give me the password, and Gandalf will nicely provide you the password. But step by step, we actually increase the level of security, and you will have to be more creative, inventive to find out the password. And that's nice for you to try, or for anybody to see how good you are in hacking.
Yeah,
how good you are in prompting.
Tom, I can promise you, I really love hacking the AI tools.
But it gave also very good insights, because it started with that gamification, but it gave us a lot of insights how creative and what methods are being actually used to hack those GenAI tools.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you heard it, but earlier this week, there was I will not state the name again, but there was a company where the virtual assistant, many companies have like virtual assistants these days that help you on their website, for instance, or help you shopping or whatever it may be, that because somebody gave a clever prompt, gave private data that was not supposed to go out through that virtual assistant. So it gave us a lot of insight how to protect, for instance, virtual assistants for companies.
Yeah, and that's the Lakera part.
That's the Lakera part.
Yeah. Because Lakera is a little bit different from what we've been talking about earlier with the GenAI security.
Yeah, the GenAI security is like a browser plugin to really prevent users in organizations to have data leakages to GenAI tooling. The Lakira part is different in the sense if an organization is building their own applications based on LLMs, is to make sure that we protect those, both from an input-wise. Like I said, if somebody gives a malicious prompt to extract data, which happened, that's one aspect, but also to control the output part, so that the application that you built is providing the answers you want or you allow to give. And maybe a funny example, but I'm not sure if you heard about Kuma, the teddy bear.
No.
No? Okay, so there was a teddy bear, a toy, based on ChatGPT. And that bear gave sometimes answers that were, let me say, not so well suited for the age of children that are playing with that teddy bear. Have a look for it yourself. It's easily to find.
Can you repeat?
Kuma is the name of the teddy bear. So,
okay, interesting.
So they had to take the teddy bear out of market. Really? Take it off market, stop the sales of the teddy bear because it was giving answers, like I said, that were not so well suited for people or children playing or that age playing with a teddy bear. So that's what we do with Lakera. We protect the input, the prompting, so that no data goes out of your organization. We also protect the output to make sure it's ethical and whatever it might be.
And does that mean that it's specifically built for companies developing their own software, or is it also built for companies? Let's say you have Infinigate, we can also build or buy an LLM, put it in our systems to retrieve data ourselves, connect it to a chatbot externally.
Absolutely, exactly.
Those
are the use cases. Yeah. And you can take it the easy way, and because we have built it in our web application firewall, or you can really embed it into your own application that you built through an API.
Two really promising technologies, I think.
Two of many.
Yeah. Hey, you just mentioned another something else that was coming. That you recently, not you, but bought that joined.
The the external risk management part. Yeah. That's actually a very good one, and a lot of talks going on with organizations as well. Because if we look, and this is now input straight from our incident response team. Incident response is a team that we have in Checkpoint that deal with the day-to-day with organizations that have been breached. Okay, and then they try to remediate in the best way possible. So what those people tell me, and we have people here in Belgium sitting, so that's nicely to talk to them. They say, Tom, there's still two main attack vectors. It's email, take it or leave it. It's email, and it's known vulnerabilities that are exploited.
Yeah.
It is still, unfortunately.
True. Unpatched devices or
exactly
zero-day.
So with the external risk management, what we actually do is take a scan of the organization like an outside people, a hacker or a hacking organization would see your organization. So we look, are there any vulnerabilities exposed? Are there any credentials on the dark web? We see that very often that credentials simply are for sale on the dark web.
Mm-hmm.
We see that, for instance, hey, somebody tried to replicate your brand and made a phishing website out of it. So that's the full scan, leading then to actions to remediate those potential threats.
Yeah.
So that's a hot topic as well. It's very nice discussions, and it's easy to demonstrate because we can quickly run that scan, and based on that, have a discussion with the organization based on what we see.
Yeah, and it's actually also the dark web scanning also that you do.
That's included.
Yeah. Tom, one of our first podcasts, we had an ethical hacker, and it was really crazy. Really crazy. So he came in and immediately said, you like wines? And then somebody else was there and said, yeah, your old password was that password. So he also did something similar, so a scan, and that's what actually hackers also do. I think it's part of the process. To see what is there, what is on the web available, maybe all passwords, and you don't know it. And, I think a lot of people use the same password for maybe 30 years or 20 years. And they just changed some numbers. So that was quite interesting. So I fully understand the benefit if you have an easy tool and when you have scanning options on that field.
I mean, two answers or replies to that, Maarten. Actually, the Harmony Browse solution we talked about to protect against the usage of the GenAI also embeds that to fix that problem password. So it will check whether you're using private or company passwords privately and vice versa. Because the browser plugin does many more things than just the GenAI protection. Was just one of the items I highlighted. And when you look at the scanning, it's typically what we see. Either companies have a solution, certainly the bigger organizations, I mean, no doubt about they have solutions, but they use various tools. And it's a bit siloed, it's complex to maneuver. So with the CyberInt acquisition, it's really one complete package. For smaller organizations, it might not be affordable to have such a tool running continuously. So what we offer is a one-time off scan. And based on that, the company can then remediate the needed threats. And then maybe they might do it again next year.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's not continuous, but at least...
But I think maybe for smaller companies, it shouldn't be per se continuous.
Exactly. It's a good way. It's a good balance between the budget and the security level.
If you're a company with 50,000 people or 10 or 20,000 people
it's
in
different. You have other means and other toolings available.
Then you also have more risk if you're a Belgium or Benelux country company. I think it's maybe... it's maybe less necessary if you're small. If you're 50 people, the risk is smaller. So, Okay.
So the only point I want to make is, no matter size,
it's accessible for everyone.
There is a way to find
yeah. No, I think a lot of great things. We also talked about harmony in the beginning a little bit. I think also the harmony on the endpoint, on the extension on Microsoft
On the email
licensing.
you
The
mean?
email,
Yeah.
Thank you for helping me.
Yeah, maybe give a bit of context around that, because indeed, so yes, the Harmony email solution that we have complements the Microsoft solution, and not only Microsoft, by the way, also the Google G Suite. So it's really a solution tailored to email and everything that goes around the full collaboration stack. And it protects, it gives an additional layer of protection on top of what you can find within the Office.
And what I also liked about that, it's really an extra layer that it's with really good results also in proof of concepts. That's what they told me, Tom. And also a proof of concept is really as easy to set up also in a matter of...
True. We don't come with fancy charts. It's a proof of concept which any organization can run. It's a 2-minute enablement in the Microsoft portal. You let the Harmony email product run for 2-3 weeks because it needs some contextual basis. And after 2-3 weeks, a report will come out of what are the findings from the Checkpoint product versus what you have in place today. And then you can see what more phishing, what did we detect or Checkpoint detect versus the current solution in place. And based on that, any organization can see, does it make sense to add that additional layer, yes or no? Yeah.
One of your tech guys, he told me that in 90% of the cases, if they see the report, they choose for that solution. So that's
it has a high conversion rate. Let's call it like that. The other advantage, Martin, with that is email is also a big generator of actually alerts, security alerts. What we see, and that is just from experience, customers who have put the solution in place, it's not only the increased security, it's also the reduced number of threats that they see, that people need to look at, that the SOC team need to look at. That helps a lot as well.
So less work for the IT team also.
Absolutely.
No, I think a lot of new things probably will come in the next months, I guess, or in the next years. Do you have a view on that, on things where Checkpoint is evolving to in the future, or is that highly confidential?
Well, I don't know everything, but what is clear is that AI is big on the agenda. So we will keep on investing on that aspect. The firewalls are not gone neither. So there is continuous evolution on basically the full stack of solutions that we offer, whether it be the firewalls, the SASE solution. There's so much enhancements coming in the SASE solution still. On the AI work, we have MDR offerings that partners could white label through Infinigate. That might be split because we haven't talked about it, but there are solutions on EDR and MDR that perfectly could be white labeled, for instance, for partners who don't have the own means to build their own team.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities, I think. And I told you also before, Tom, I think the storyline, when you explain, for the end customer, there are a lot of issues with GenAI. And the storyline to bring with all the AI stuff and all the new stuff, that really resonates. We see it also in the people that we speak. So I think we are on a really good track. So Tom, I think we are going to go to the end of the podcast. Do you want to give some takeaways or something that you want to share with our wonderful audience?
No, first of all, thank you again for having me, Maarten. We really have big expectation on the collaborations with Infinigate. Like I said, we had very positive feedback from the corporation in the Nordic countries. I think Infinigate is well positioned to take all the new solutions to market, because that's, in all fairness, what we are looking for together. So stay tuned. Have a look at the Infinigate Checkpoint portfolio, I would say. We have local teams, both of us. I think that is very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any organization or partner that is interested, please do not hesitate to reach out.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Tom, for coming over, and we'll see each other soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Martin.
Bye.